أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وصحبه المنتجبين. Salamun alaikum to all of you, my dear brothers and sisters. I would like to welcome you, my dear brothers and sisters, for having this program. I'm very happy to be here. Inshallah, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are going to talk about Islamic lifestyle. Yes, inshallah, we want to talk a little bit about Islamic lifestyle and introduce to you, my dear brothers and sisters, this specific lifestyle. Maybe you're amazed that when you hear we have the term Islamic lifestyle. You want to know, you wonder, what does it mean? What are the characteristics of this particular lifestyle? And what trait does it enjoy? I want to say that Islamic lifestyle is very beautiful, interesting lifestyle. Actually, when we go to this divine religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we go to the Islamic sources and references, for example, Noble Quran and tradition and narration and ahadith of Holy Prophet Muhammad and his pure Ahlul Bayt, we find that very beautiful and amazing lifestyle has been introduced to mankind. I think as a Muslim, it is very crucial for us, it is very important to understand and recognize this lifestyle. First of all, we have to understand it. And second, we should try to implement and to live by this standard and lifestyle. And of course, this particular Islamic lifestyle has its own differences with other lifestyles. For example, we have Western lifestyle and so on, Eastern lifestyle, and so on and so forth. If you go to different religious communities, if you go to different countries, you find particular culture, customs, and lifestyle. And in Islam, in this divine religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Deen al-Haq, we have particular lifestyle, and inshallah we are going to talk about Islamic lifestyle. I think it is very important for us as a Muslim to get familiar with this Islamic lifestyle. Very beautiful narrations we have in this regard, and before that and prior to that we have many verses of Noble Quran regarding this lifestyle. My dear brothers and sisters, I would like to tell you in the beginning that Islam is not only, the religion of the hereafter, religion for the resurrection day. It is not only talking about, for example, morality, spirituality, as we have in some other religious, communities. You find in some religions that they only talk about morality, spirituality, whether they are right or wrong. We do not want to talk about this issue, but they do not talk about this life. But when you go to this deen, which is religion of Islam, you find that very beautifully Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been combined between the prosperity of this life that we are living in and the prosperity of the day of judgment. So there is a very great and beautiful balance between the prosperity of this life and the prosperity of the day of judgment. So you see that none of them had been sacrificed for the sake of other, and there is a very beautiful balance between and moderation between this world and the day of judgment. Inshallah, gradually we will talk about this issue, and please be more patient. Inshallah, we will talk about the concept of Islamic lifestyle. But before that and prior to that, I think as a preamble, it is very suitable to talk about one issue, and that issue is, what is a purpose of the life? And of course, if we do not answer this question, we cannot go to the Islamic lifestyle. So we are here to talk about Islamic lifestyle, but prior to that, we should understand what is a purpose. What is a philosophy of life? Okay? Please pay attention, my dear brothers and sisters, my dear viewers. I think it is really worth it to think about this issue, that what is a purpose? What is the aim of this life that we are living in? Why we are here? Okay? And what is the philosophy of the creation in general? These are very important questions, my dear brothers and sisters. I don't know whether have you ever thought about this issue or not. But I do not want to say it is, believe it or not, it is very difficult to answer this question. And had it not been for the verses of Noble Quran, we were not able to reply to such a question. Of course, different, as I said, religious people, they have been answered to this, they have some, answers to this question, and they have been replied in different ways to this very important question: what is the purpose of life? Many people think about this issue. Really, what is the purpose of living in this universe, on this planet? Why we are here? Are we here to eat? Are we here to enjoy ourselves? Are we here, or we have been created in order to have a pleasure, in order to have, for example, enjoyment of the life, entertainment, earning money? Is that the only purpose of life? I'm sure you have seen many people, they enjoyed a lot of pleasure. They have enjoyed different sorts of pleasures, but they're seeking for other things, okay? They are not satiated with these pleasures. So the question, and the big question here is, what is the final purpose of this life? My dear brothers and sisters, this is a big question that we should answer it, okay? And if we do not find any suitable answer for this question, we cannot carry on with our day-to-day life, okay? And, we cannot continue having beautiful, happy life. I've chosen for you, my dear brothers and sisters, some verses of Noble Quran which reply to this important question. And I believe that these verses very beautifully could answer this big question that we have in our mind. Let me share these beautiful verses of Noble Quran. It is actually in Surah Shu'ara, verse number 78. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala quoting Holy Prophet Ibrahim, saying, الَّذِي خَلَقَنِي فَهُوَ يَهْدِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created me, Ibrahim, and He will guide me. Guidance is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether guidance to this material life or, for example, guidance to the hereafter. All guidance comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالَّذِي هُوَ يُطْعِمُنِي وَيَسْقِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me sustenance, give me food, and when I'm thirsty, He gives me water. وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ فَهُوَ يَشْفِينَ. When I'm sick, when I'm ill, He will give me cure. Okay? So when we are hungry, He gives us food, and when we are thirsty, He gives us, water. And when we are ill and sick, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives cure. My dear brothers and sisters, let me mention one point here, which is, I think, important to know that. And I'm sure you have experienced this point that it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only creator. And all, I can say, blessing, whether they are material blessing, spiritual blessing, all of that comes from and originates from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nobody else. So we should not think that, for example, cure comes from the physician. Or, for example, when we are thirsty, when we are hungry, all sustenance comes from, for example, that individual, for example, from my employers, or for example, from my boss. All of that comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, originates from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should only seek sustenance, seek whatever we need, seek whatever our demand is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator, the source of mercy and blessing. وَالَّذِي يُمِيتُنِي ثُمَّ يُحْيِينِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes me die, and He will give me the life. This is again another point that Prophet Ibrahim mentioned here in these beautiful verses. Then he said, وَالَّذِي أَطْمَعُ أَنْ يَغْفِرَ لِي خَطِيئَتِي يَوْمَ الدِّينِ. I ask Him, okay, I'm very eager to forgive my sins and shortcomings in the day of judgment. رَبِّ هَبْ لِي حُكْمًا وَأَلْحِقْنِي بِالصَّالِحِينَ. Oh my Lord, give me the hukm and join me to the righteous people. You know, my dear brothers and sisters, the point that I want to mention here, we are talking about the purpose of life. What is a philosophy of life? In these verses, Prophet Ibrahim began to ask for the purpose of this life. What is the purpose of life? It's to gain hukm and to join to the righteous people. Please be very, careful here. What is the meaning of hukm? Rabbi habli hukman. Sometimes we recite verses of Noble Quran and we do not concentrate and we do not focus on the in-depth meaning of the verses of Noble Quran. What is hukm? According to the interpreters of Noble Quran, Mufassirin of Noble Quran, especially Allama Tabatabai in his beautiful tafsir of Al-Mizan, he said, إصابة النظر والرأي في المعارف الاعتقادية والعملية, and so on and so forth. He said that the meaning of hukm is to have very strong, firm, in-depth meaning, okay, profound understanding and recognition of the ma'arif of i'tiqadiyya and amaliyya. Is to have very strong and firm belief system, okay, and faith. This is a meaning of hukm, and try to implement your action, try to confirm your action in accordance to this system of belief. So first of all, you have accurate belief. Please pay attention. First of all, to have accurate belief system, okay, and then to try to confirm your action with this belief, accurate beliefs. This is very important, my dear brothers and sisters. Do you know that many of us, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, unfortunately, maybe some of us, maybe we do not have the accurate belief system. Maybe some of our understanding worldview is mistake or not accurate. Okay? Maybe we have a lot of study, maybe we have a lot of research about particular issue, but maybe some parts of our beliefs are not in accordance to the reality of this universe. Do we have accurate belief about for example, our Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do we have accurate belief about for example, the traits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sifatullah, the characters of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Which kind of character does he enjoy? Do we have accurate beliefs about all Prophet Muhammad, about Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salatu wassalam? Do we have accurate belief about many other, points, many other beliefs, in our divine religion? So, I think we should revise this our belief system, try to research more, try to have more study, and try to come to this hukm. Prophet Ibrahim, please remember, Prophet Ibrahim said that, رَبِّ هَبْ لِي حُكْمًا وَأَلْحِقْنِي بِالصَّالِحِينَ. My Lord, give me hukm. What does it mean, hukm? Hukm means to have accurate beliefs and try to have your action in accordance to these beliefs. The accuracy of beliefs and the action. Aqeedah sahiha wal amal al-sahih. This is a meaning of hukm. And of course, it is not very easy to gain that. It requires a lot of study, a lot of effort, a lot of striving, ijtihad fi sabilillah wal wara', you should be pious. All of us should be pious. We should try our best. We should try our best and try to have these hukm. And then he said, وَالْحِقْنِي بَالصَّالِحِينَ, join me to the righteous people. What does it mean, salah or salih? Salih means a person who acts in accordance to his or to her God-given nature. Okay? And of course, this is a basic meaning, the original meaning of salih. To act in accordance to your fitrah. Of course, maybe I translated to the God-given nature, or maybe you have another translation for that. But the meaning of fitrah is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given all of us a very amazing nature. That everybody, every individual, they understand it. Okay? And when you act in accordance to that fitrah, God-given nature, you become righteous person. You become salih. The opposite of that is fasid. Okay? When you have this kind of fitrah and you act in accordance to that fitrah, you become one of the righteous person. So, my dear brothers and sisters, religion of Islam, and of course by religion I mean deen of Islam, is one of the basic understanding of Islam and one of the basic teachings of Islam is to obey your fitrah, your God-given nature. Many times we understand that this, some of our actions are wrong. You should not do it. If you go to the verses of Noble Quran, you say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordering us to act in according to our fitrah. What does it mean, ma'roof? It means whatever is known to you. Whatever everybody understands is right or wrong. You should do it, okay? And when it is good, and you should leave it when it is wrong. So, it is very important again. You see that, for example, everybody understands that this particular action is wrong. For example, thief, to have robbery. All of that is wrong. Everybody understands that. For example, many other examples of that. We should leave that. The forbidden action which everybody understands and your intrinsic nature, God-given nature, understand and recognize it as a wrong, as a fault, you should leave that. So, first purpose of life is to join to the righteous people, and then to have hukm. Okay? These are the purpose, and I don't want to repeat that myself. These are the first and initial purpose of life. And he continues saying, وَاجْعَلْ لِي لِسَانَ صِدْقٍ فِي الْآخِرِينَ. وَاجْعَلْ لِي لِسَانَ صِدْقٍ فِي الْآخِرِينَ. In this verse, beautiful verse, Holy Prophet Ibrahim say that, "Oh my Lord, give me a good remembrance in my progeny." Actually, this is referring to the, Holy Prophet Muhammad and his pure progeny. They were the, descendants of Holy Prophet Ibrahim. But we understand from this beautiful verse that one other purpose of life is to, after our death, people remember us in a good way. One day, all of us, me and you, my dear brothers and sisters, we should die. Okay? We cannot escape from that. One day, all of us, we die. So, it is better that after our death, people remember us in a good way and send, for example, Fatiha or Salawat to our soul. This is again very important. Unfortunately, we see some people after their death, many people remember them in a bad way. They send curse to him or her. Okay? They send la'na to him or her because of the wrong action that they had in their lifestyle. Because their lifestyle was not good and suitable lifestyle. They did not have good interaction with people. They did not have, they did not socialize with people in a good and beautiful manner. They did not have very good temper. And because of that, people remember them in a bad way, in a negative way. And sometimes, unfortunately, they curse them. So, one other purpose of life is after our death, people remind us in a very beautiful way. And then Holy Prophet Ibrahim, he said, وَاجْعَلْنِي مِنْ وَرَثَةِ جَنَّةِ النَّعِيمِ. Oh my Lord, give me this blessing to inherit the paradise. Again, when we say inheritance, inheritance is in a way that, for example, I inherit this property from a person. So, this paradise potentially was able to be obtained by anybody, even Muslim or non-Muslim. But we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to inherit the paradise, okay, from other people. Maybe, unfortunately, many people, they do not go to the paradise. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to inherit the paradise, and inshallah, all people, many people, they have this ability and prosperity to go to the blessing and mercy of paradise for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, وَلَا تُخْذِنِي يَوْمَ يُبْعَثُونَ يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. Holy Prophet Ibrahim continues saying that, do not disgrace me in the day of judgment, in a day that no wealth, no children avail us, except for a person who comes to his Lord by the pure heart. So, again, having qalb salim, which means purified heart, is one other philosophy of creation. So, my dear brothers and sisters, I do not want to make confusion here. Please do not lose the track of our discussion, what we are talking about. We are talking about, what is a philosophy of creation? What is a philosophy of life? And we said that in these verses of Surah Ash-Shu'ara, verses number 78, so on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, quoting Holy Prophet Ibrahim, talks about the philosophy of life. And if I want to summarize myself, we said that the philosophy of life is to, first of all, to have HIWM and to join to the righteous people. And of course, I explained for you, my dear brothers and sisters, what does it mean, the HIWM, and to be from the righteous, okay? And then he said that, to have very good remembrance after our death, and then to inherit the paradise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then we said that to have the qalb salim, illa man atallaha biqalbin salim, purified heart. And of course, it is not easy to have purified hearts, my dear brothers and sisters. Sometimes it is very difficult to have it. Whatever mercy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has is returned, actually has been attached to our heart. Heart is, my dear brothers and sisters, it is very important. When I say heart, I do not refer to these, physical hearts with pumping the blood to the body. I do not mean that. Heart in a Quranic terminology means the essence of human being, the humanity of human being, okay? The power which understand, the power which inspire the, mercy of Allah, the recognition of Allah, and so on and so forth. So this is a source of humanity, the power. And I think it is worth mentioning this point. And you should think about, you should reflect about the concept of qalb in the verses of Noble Quran. In different verses we have the concept of qalb. If you go to the verses of Noble Quran, illa man atallaha biqalbin salim, and so on and so forth, in different terms Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been used this term qulubikum in a plural way or singular way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been used this term. So we should try to have the purified hearts. And I said it is very important. And because of that, we have that Holy Prophet Muhammad said that إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, or action is only because of your niyyah, because of your intention. It is referring to the concept of qalb, because when you have this pure intention, you become close to the concept of purified heart. For example, maybe you do not have enough money to support all oppressed people in the world, okay? You cannot maybe, for example, fight with all oppressors in the world, but you intend that. You intend that, oh Allah, I wish I had this ability to fight with whatever oppressors are in this world. I wish I had this ability to support all poor people or oppressed people in this world. This is very good intention. Of course, in reality, you do not have this ability to do that, maybe. For sure, many of us, we do not have this ability. But we can intend that. At least we can have this beautiful intention in our hearts. Brothers and sisters, this is very important. To have the purified heart, to safeguard your hearts from ill intention is very important. To safeguard your hearts from envy, from hasad is very important, from kibr, from many other ill treatment. All of that comes back to the concept of your heart, your qalb, qalbin salim, which means the heart which is away from the envy, away from the misguidance, away from any other negative trait that we have mentioned in the verses of Noble Quran or in the tradition of Holy Prophet Muhammad and his pure Ahlul Bayt. So try to obtain that. These are, I think, summarize the philosophy of our life. So we have, if I want to put it in a nutshell, we have very sublime, here, very sublime, I can say, purpose here for the human being to try to get that. We should not suffice ourselves with the few things, just for example, doing some simple things. It is very important to high and to look at this sublime, I can say, destiny of the human being. We can come close to the infallibility and inshallah become one of the soldiers of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put us among the real soldiers of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam. And we ask for the arrival of this pure Imam of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, who will make this universe full of justice, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.